I'm going to crochet 50 little flowers. Scrolling on Pinterest, I came across this picture and I thought it was just perfect for my fairy core aesthetic. I hope my version of this rug will come out just as pretty or maybe even prettier than my inspiration picture. But before I spend 4 days making these flowers, I need a base. Hello everyone! So I bought this rug from the internet. It's this round green rug and it's 2 meters in diameter, which is perfect for the living room. And when it arrived, it was all wrapped like a burrito and very fun to open. Oh!
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a bit shiny. I like. Ooh.
That's pretty good.
That's nice. As you can tell, we were immediately fans of the rug. It was so soft and it was this perfect mossy green color. I went for this dark green instead of a light green so it wouldn't clash with the floor. And this rug, it worked magic because when it arrived, our cats were also a fan of it and they're still new to each other, so they're getting used to each other. Our older cat doesn't like her very much yet, but they did sleep together on this rug, which is a lot of progress, which I'm very happy about. Anyways, I went for this grassy green rug on purpose because I want it to look like grass. So I'm making flowers to put in the rug. I've already made some tests. Look at them! So I went to my parents' place and picked up some of my mom's yarn. And the yarn I'm using is, first of all, this yellowy pastel cotton. And the most important parts, 100% wool. It smells like sheep. My cats love playing with this. I purposefully went for wool because, first of all, you can dye wool easier than synthetic yarn. And I want multiple colors. Second of all, I have tufted rugs before. This behind me is tufted by me. And I made that one with synthetic yarn. That one's hanging on my wall, but I also have one with the same yarn on my floor and it looks rough. I've worked on this a lot and you can see that. It's all flat, it's all damaged, it looks dirty, it's all fuzzy. I don't want that with my little cutie patootie flowers, okay? So wool it is. But before we get to crocheting, we get to dyeing, aren't we all? So I want to dye 3 colors. So I'm separating this ball of yarn into 3 different balls. So I'm just starting with the first one and I'm winding it up on my hand. I'm cutting it off and halfway working on the second one, I realize maybe I should measure this. So I'm grabbing a scale and measuring how much wool I'm using. So the first one is 9 grams, which should have been a little more, but I guess I'll make the other 2 equal. Meanwhile, my kitten is playing with the wool while I'm trying to work. I want to weigh this second wool, but I can't get my scale to work. Come on, start up, please. Alright, this one should be about 12 grams. Good enough. And then the last one is also good enough. Alright, let's get to dyeing. So I grabbed 3 glasses and I put a spoon of salt in there to activate my pigment. Then I grabbed my 3 favorite colors and I put just a small amount in the glasses. I want them to be pastel so they can't be too vibrant. And be careful if you're using powdered pigments because this pigment dust is so fine. It gets everywhere and you have no idea until you're cleaning it up with a wet rag. And next thing you know, your white table turns purple. So I fill them with hot water. I do a little stir. I'm testing it with little strands to see if the color is right. And I think the blue is a bit too light. So I'm putting a little more in there. Then I carefully put my yarn in. Wool doesn't absorb water very quickly, so don't mush it in there because it will spill. I had to do this very slowly. I was thinking of leaving them there overnight, but in fact, now that I'm looking at them, they're getting kind of dark. Look at this purple. Oh my god. I'm rinsing them out right now. Let's go. Whee. It's so dark. No. Rinse it. So they look a bit darker on camera, but the purple, not very pastel. It's still a nice color. The other two worked out better. The blue though, it's such a cute color. I'm back with my yarn, but these look super tangled and they need to dry. So I am untangling them while they're still wet, and I'm just gonna loosely wind them up so they can dry. I struggled just a little bit. Let's just pretend that it went super smooth and I'm a master. Now that my colored yarn is here drying, I'm just gonna start on the white flowers, but I'm a bit confused. I should have used this to dye instead of the already spun into a ball of yarn. Bit too late. But also, there's 4 beginnings? No, there's more. I'm so confused. You know what? I can also start just with the yellow parts. By the way, I don't know if I'm gonna make 50 little circles with just this. I'm starting to doubt that. But if I come short, I also have yellow dye, so I could dye some more. We shall see. I'm just gonna start crocheting on the couch, watching TV, and I'll give you the tutorial tomorrow. Bye bye. I'll be using American crochet terms, but as long as you pay attention to my hands, I think it'll be pretty clear. For the little flower, we need to be working in a circle. I'm gonna start with making a magic circle. I don't make these very often, so I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but it works for me, so that's good enough. So I'm wrapping the yarn around my fingers. And with my hook, I go under, I grab it, and I pull it out. Now with this little loop, I just make a single chain. And there's your circle, ready to be worked on. You can pull the end a little bit to make the circle a bit smaller, so it's easier to work on. On this circle, we're gonna make 5 half double crochets. I'm wrapping the yarn around my hook just once. Then with my hook, I go into the circle and I grab the yarn. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. Then I grab the yarn and pull it through all the loops all at once. So you make 5 of those on the circle. When you have those, you can pull the end tightly to tie it all in one tiny little circle. And I'm gonna close the circle off by going back into the very first stitch we made with a slip stitch. And that's your little circle. I'm cutting it off, pulling it through, and I like to put a double knot on the back with these little ends, just for a bit of extra security. And now I'm grabbing my wool to make the petals. I first make a little loop, then I'm pulling this loop through the very first stitch on the circle. This can be any of the stitches, it doesn't really matter. Now for a petal, we're going to first chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to make, I'm looking at the translation right here. You guys really call it a treble crochet? I thought it was a triple crochet. A treble crochet? Like the treble that's on a drum set? You guys don't make any sense. It's in my little chart right here. Treble crochet. Excuse me. Anyways, we're making 4 treble crochets in the same stitch as we just put our chain on. This is how it goes. Put your yarn over your hook 2 times. 1, 2. Put your hook into the same stitch where we put the chain on and pull the thread through. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. Now what I like to do is to count to 3. So first you pull the thread through 2 of the loops, that's 1. You do that again, pull the thread through 2 of the loops, that's 2. And then the last time, pull the thread through the last 2, that's 3. And there's your treble crochet. When you have 4 treble crochets, you can go back and check if you have 4. Pretty easy to see. We're going to chain 3 again, and then I'm going into the next stitch and just secure this with a slip stitch. And that's it. That's your petal. Good job! Now on to make the other 4 petals, so you have 5 in total. Then when you finish your last petal, you should be ending with your last slip stitch back into the very first stitch that we started in. So now you can again cut it off, pull it through, tie a knot with the other end, and then you can hide your ends into the crochet work. You can use your hook for this. You can also use a needle for this. And there's your very own handmade crocheted flower. Now let's do it again about 49 times. So I made about 5 or 6 white flowers, and I decided to start with the colored ones. I decided to go with pink first and to do it on my balcony in the sun, and it's so nice. This is life. If my mind wasn't occupied occupied with crocheting right now, I would fall asleep. That's how nice it is outside. I have a problem though. This is my second pink flower. Here's the first one. It's so cute. But I feel like I'm more than halfway with my pink yarn. So I should have dyed more. I'm not sure how far this is gonna get me. We shall see. So I just finished my fourth pink flower and this is what I have left. It's sad, but I'm still kind of surprised I made 4 instead of 3. Yay! I'm gonna keep this to maybe make some multicolored flowers later. That'll be cute. It's time for purple. Dooja. Hey. I can probably get 5 out of this one, right? Yeah, cute. So I've made 20 little flowers right here. And oops, I'm out of wool. At least I'm out of the colors. This is what I have left of the colors. So now I'm using all this wool and I'm splitting it up in 4 and, you know, dyeing it again. I've already have this one here. This is exactly 25 grams, right? And yes, it is that shape and no, it was not on purpose. This is also all that's left of the yellow. So I got my mom to bring me more of her cotton. It's not an exact match, but there's such small parts that I don't think it'll matter that much. And now I'm just going to continue separating this wool. Here we go again. Ta-da! Now these are pastels. I did it after all. They're still wet though. I'm just gonna hang them outside to dry. So while that's drying outside, it is almost midnight. Am I really that slow? I feel slow, but I'll just continue. I still have a lot of the yellow bits to make, and I can also work on the white flowers. So I'm just gonna crochet what I can with a cup of tea. It's the next day, and I have spent the whole day making little flowers. The whole day crocheting. I was just crocheting everywhere. I crocheted here. I crocheted on the toilet. I crocheted on the carpet. I was annoying my cats on the toilet and on the carpet. And I was on a mission to make 30 more flowers and they had to be done today. Because today I want to start sewing them in the carpet. And up to now I've gotten pretty close. We're nearing the 50. I also wanted to show you the new colors that I dyed. Here's the pink and the blue. And here's the purple. I was kind of scared that the purple would turn out too pink and too light, but it's still a very cute purple actually. I also made some flowers from the scraps from the old colors. And I just love these. They are multicolored. Yeah, they're so cute. And I also made another one of the big ones. So now I've got 3 in total. No tutorial on those because they low-key kinda ugly, but I think they look pretty good when they're in the carpet and it's a waste if I wouldn't use them. So now I'm off to make the last few flowers. I'm gonna start with the very last flower. Yay! Ta-da! It's finished. There they are. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and she just continues to sleep. But now it's time for me to get rid of all the loose ends. Ugh. So it's the next day again. And today I've been sewing all these little flowers to the rug. And here's how I did it. When the yellow loose ends were long enough, I did not work them away or cut them off. I left them on so I could use them to sew them in. I put one end on the needle. I stick the whole needle through the rug to get the little thread on the other side. Then I do it with the other one. And then I just simply tie it off with a double knot on the underside. I don't even cut it off because it's on the underside. No one will see it. There aren't any loose ends that I can use. I just cut off a piece of string, pull it through the underside of the flower, and then just use that. And I did that with all these flowers, and my thumb hurts. I thought I would cramp from crocheting all this, and I do, but it's not as bad as the thumb that hurts from sewing them all in. But the rug is finally done, and I can finally show you. Look at her! She's so pretty! Let's do a close-up. Ooh, yes, there's a hole in my sock. Oh my god! I love it. I tried to place them as random as possible to make it look as organic and realistic as possible. But I can hear you think, Come on, these aren't 50, these are 48. Yeah, right, I doubt that. But you're right, it's only 48 of them. And that's because I kept 2 to make earrings out of. So yesterday I soaked these 2 in Kitta glue and I let them dry overnight. Close to dry, they're not completely dry, but it's fine. Now they're nice and stiff and they hold their shape, which is nice for in my ears. I'm taking a jump ring and I'm putting it on there. Then I put that on another jump ring there with, of course, an ear hook. I'm closing that. Ta-da! They're so comically big, but at the same time they're so light. Just slightly itchy, but it's fine. Now I'm matching with the rug. Oh, it looks so good in here. Look at that. It fits so well. I love that. However, there's one huge problem. This door. That's not nice. Hey, Chippy. You want to scratch the mat? Yes. And in the darkness, she disappears. Chippy. Gone. I would love to have a smaller version of this in here. Guess I'm gonna have to save up some more. This looks adorable. I'm so scared. This thing that I stuck to the ceiling is gonna fall and just land right on my face. I'm super happy with my new rug. It really livens up the living room and the cats really love it as well. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!